Hey y'all, what's up? And welcome back to another energy update for the week on the Astrology and Human Design podcast. I'm Kelsey, your host. And this planetary energy update through the lens of astrology and human design is going to be for the week of February 14th. Happy Valentine's Day. I'm trying something new at this time and doing video because apparently that's a new feature on Spotify podcasts. So I'm really excited to come at you guys in a new way and give you some more visuals too for how I calculate my predictions and just like, yeah, if you're a visual learner like I am, hopefully you'll benefit more from this than just listening to the audio. So I'm really excited. This is, again, the first time I'm doing this, so I don't know how it's going to look, how it's going to work, how it's going to go, but we're just going to roll with it. I'm going to try it out. So first things first, since I am doing this very just like free flow today and don't have an intro or any ads or anything for this episode, I wanted to show you guys what I've been working on. I am creating a new ebook that is all about the variables in human design. I am so freaking excited about this because I have been diving deep into the variables in human design, which are the arrows. If you're new to human design, when you pull up your human design chart, some websites don't have it. I use Genetic Matrix and I pay for their monthly membership. You can also pay for a day pass. It's like $6, super affordable. And it just gives you so much information about your chart and how to read it as well. So when you pull up your chart, you'll see 4 arrows at the top by the first 2 centers at the top, the ajna and the crown. And those arrows are called variables in your human design chart. And they give you insight into your environment, your cognition, like your internal and external themes, like what your body needs in order to really thrive, your ideal environment, your ideal eating style, which is called your determination, your cognition, which is your strongest clair, your strongest sense, like how you really perceive and pick up on energies. What else is there? So much held within the variables of your chart that really takes everything so much deeper and gives you like tangible, practical ways to set yourself up in order to align with your true self and align with the true essence of you through your design. So the variables are like, I would say that the strategy and authority is like step number one. And then step number 2 is like knowing your centers, as well as your profile, and how that kind of plays out for you, like where you're open, where you're defined, and how that kind of plays into your design and your true self versus your not self. And then step 3 is like the variables and what are your internal and external themes that your body and your mind need in order to align with your true self and to really like decondition yourself and go through that deconditioning process that human design really lends help and support around and guidance around. So yeah, I'm super excited. And here's a little sneak peek. I just wanted to show you guys because again, like visuals. So I walk you through, and this is like straight from The Cosmos Within You, which is my ebook on astrology and human design. It's pretty simply put, simply explained, but it also goes really deep. Oh wait, I'm not even sharing my screen right now. Thinking that you guys are seeing this and you're not. Okay, here we go. So yeah, this is the human design section. It also has an astrology section. It just lays everything out really simply. It's kind of like the foundation and the framework for my courses, where my courses, the Understand Astrology and Human Design School, my online course platform, we really take all this knowledge deeper and go over everything really in depth, really thoroughly. This is more of like a simple straight to the point layout. It's great for you if you're new to this stuff and you're just wanting to learn the language and really how it works at a really simple basic level. So this is like the human design portion. Again, it's about half human design, half astrology, but human design is so much more in depth. So obviously there's more of the book dedicated to human design. And then this is what I'm working on here, is helping you guys understand the variables, what each one means, what it represents in your chart, where it's pulled from, the information that it's pulled from, as well as like what the different colors and the shapes are underneath the variables. Because as you can see here, this is what it's going to look like when you pull it up in Genetic Matrix. Giving you guys like a really good sneak peek here. And then I walk you through like what each of it means and how to interpret it, as well as like your determination, which is how you're meant to eat, like your ideal circumstance or condition for eating, not necessarily like what you're supposed to eat, but kind of how. how your digestion works, and also how you receive and take in information. And then your cognition, which is again your strongest sense, your strongest like super sense, your strongest clair, like really how you perceive energy and the world around you. Then your ideal environment. There's 6 different ones for all of this. For some, there's 12. Just depends on your chart. And then your motivation, like what motivates you, what is your main driver in life, and then your view and your sense, kind of on the internal or external themes of those things as well. So that's what I'm working on right now. It's going to be released really soon. So yeah, I'm super excited. I just want to show you guys that before we get into the energy update for today, and give you guys 2 more of like a framework of what the cosmos within you is and what it, what's in it, because I talk about it a lot. It's like my pride and joy, my baby. It's like the first book that I've created, and I'm also working on like somehow working it into a physical book, like so that it can be printed, but I'm just not sure of how that's going to look yet. So right now it's just going to live as an ebook, but eventually it will be a like full-on physical book. And it's just like such a great guide, such a great resource. Like I use it myself because again, there's so much to human design that like it's going to take years to really in-depthly like learn and memorize all of the aspects of human design. So if you're looking for just a go-to resource that breaks it all down really simply, the cosmos within you is, yeah, that's why I created it. So I'm really excited about it. And then if you're wanting to go deeper into all of this stuff, that's what the Understand Astrology and Human Design School is for. So there's 4 different courses in the school. If you haven't, go check out the website and see all the details of what I've kind of created there and what's living there. You can purchase one of the courses, you can purchase all of them. It really just depends on where you're at and your knowledge and what you're looking to know more about and explore more about when it comes to these modalities. So I'm super excited. Okay, so let's get into the episode now. Let me see. Let me go back over here to where I have Astro Gold, which is the software program I use for astrology. And then I might also be showing you guys, if I can figure out how to do it, where I pull my current transit human design information from. There's an app that I use for that because I haven't really found a human design program that's similar to what's out there for astrology yet. So that's kind of, yeah, how we're going to do that with this new visual aspect. I'm so excited. Okay, so Monday, we're starting the week off with the sun moving into gate 30. I believe the sun moved into gate 30 on Saturday or Sunday, which I don't think I talked about in the last episode, but the sun moving into gate 30 is going to create an emotional channel for you guys that have gate 41 in your root center. Okay, so pull up your chart, make sure, just kind of look at what you have in your chart and how this will be affecting you on a personal level. But I feel like on a collective level, this will really be calling for us to like kind of, wrap up Aquarius season by really looking at maybe the feelings that we suppressed for the past, month or so, and kind of just like really allow ourselves to dive deep into our feelings, because this gate is the gate of feelings, and this gate is all about an awareness of feelings that push for surrender through experience. So with the sun being here, it's like this is really being illuminated for all of us. This might create an emotional wave for you this week if you have gate 41 in your chart. And it's the lesson with this gate is really just to learn that everything happens for a reason. Everything that happens in terms of like prompting for us to feel and really look at things in a deep way is a part of the greater whole, whether it was consciously desired or wanted or not. And this gate also teaches humanness on a deep emotional level. Like that's really what makes us human, is being able to feel and have emotions that connect us with ourselves and with others, and also with spirit, which is what the solar plexus rules in human design, right? It rules our connection with spirit and with others and with humanity as a whole, which is also just very Aquarius. Like how is what is being brought up for us right now, like contributing to the greater whole, even if it doesn't seem like it right now. And another thing too, as we're wrapping up Aquarius season, is like, how can you remain hopeful towards your future vision? Like, even though things maybe not be manifesting for you on a physical level right now, you don't have the tangible results of what you want yet. How can you still have that hope for the future goal, and that it's still happening no matter what things may look like on the surface right now? Okay. And then with the sun moving into gate 30, we have Earth just moved into gate 49. no, sorry, 29. Earth just moved into gate 29, which is the gate of perseverance. This gate is a drive to say yes to things, especially new experiences. And it really has the ability to persevere and push through, like, no matter what. So really, like, this week with these, these transits like happening in these two gates with the sun and the earth, it's like the sun and the earth and human design are all about you, right? They're all about like, what's in it for you? How is this pertaining to you? How is this pertaining to me? It's all about like me, right? So this week is really like a week of pushing forward towards that higher vision, like with perseverance, with drive, with, allowing yourself to go through and ride out those emotional waves and not take it so personally when, things don't happen according to your plan or happen according to like what you perceive that they could or should. And really just surrender to the moment and surrender to the experiences that you're having because they're leading you to where you're meant to go, right? That's really I feel the lesson and the theme of these transits and this week specifically. So that's what we're really starting out this week with the energy of. And then, okay, to bring in the astrology here, I mean, that is a little bit of astrology because this astrology is what creates this information in human design. But so on Monday, you can see that we have, is this? Yeah, here we go. Venus and Mars like exactly conjunct each other, and Venus and Mars are going to travel together for quite a while. Let me see. Yeah, how long? They're traveling together for a minute until around the middle of March. Okay, so they're going to be together for the next month, give or take some days. So then this is a really big transit. This is like really prompting us, like I said, to take action, to create this energetic drive and persevere towards our goals. That's really going to change our financial situation as well, Venus, right? And really, how can we take action towards those things with pleasure, with a connection to our sensuality, with a connection to being embodied in the things that we desire, as opposed to just like trying to go out and have them just for the sake of having these external things or possessions, right? Like, how can we really bring this back down to our values, what matters to us, and pertain that to like how it's going to help not only our financial situation and our immediate success and greater picture of our vision, but the humanity as a whole. Like, everything that you're doing that you maybe didn't think you could do is inspiring someone, even if you don't know that, or even if it's not, you're not, again, directly seeing the physical results of that. Like, what you're contributing to the collective through contributing to yourself and doing what you love and putting your pleasure and your passion first is helping humanity. So again, that's really the theme of this week, is like, how can we be taking action towards these things that really light us up, that we're really passionate about, that's really going to contribute, to us leading and living from a heart-centered place to impact humanity in a really big way, right? We have the North Node in Gate 8 right now, which is all about having a contribution, and a contribution that matters, not just one for like vanity's sake or the sake of having a large following on social media or, those vanity metrics or things. Like, how can we really contribute to the greater whole just by really awakening to our passions and putting those first? And you guys know me. If you're not new to me and my content, then I read astrology from an evolutionary perspective as well as a life purpose perspective. Like, how can we use this to align with our life purpose and to fulfill our dharma and do what our soul came here to do, like align with our passions and our purpose? This is the time to do that and to be taking action towards it with this Venus Mars conjunction. Like, this doesn't happen often. And then what else do we have going on Monday? We have the moon trining Chiron. But first we have, as you guys can see here, Pluto. I mean, there's a lot going on, but Pluto is making a trine to the North Node, and it's sextiling the South Node as well. So what this tells me, and it's almost exact, you can see here 27 degrees 22 minutes, 27 degrees 24 minutes. Let's actually see when it's exact. Yeah, we're gonna have, oh, there we go. It was about 3 p.m. Mountain Time. is when this is going to be exact. So this is, I feel like is, a trine is a harmonious aspect between planets in the same element. And so I feel like this is really like us, again, taking that action towards our destiny, towards whatever we're like working towards in a way that's like going to transform our lives. And in a way too, that really prompts us to release fear around it or release control of like a certain outcome and like kind of just let things flow and let our experiences lead us to our destiny, to our ultimate vision, and just kind of keep that in the center of our hearts, right? Letting that lead us, but not getting caught up in how things look on the external, right? And allowing life to kind of guide us, just with having this intention that we set. Mercury entered Aquarius too, just now when I moved that. Yep. So at the same time, Mercury's entering Aquarius. So check in where in your chart where you have Aquarius, because this will be impacting you in a different area of your life, depending on how this is affecting your unique chart. But Mercury in Aquarius, again, is kind of like, how can we have this mental perception, this mental story, and these thought patterns that move us towards our higher vision, that kind of remind us to be hopeful, to be grateful, to be focused on not only like how this is going to help us on an individual level, but how our contribution through our higher vision, right? Whatever your dream is, how that's going to contribute to humanity as a whole. Yeah, with Pluto trine North Node, I feel like this is really a just big push and a big like what's the word, like supportive energy towards making the transformations and the changes that you need, like going through a death cycle to be reborn into like things that really move you and propel you forward towards your destiny. And then later in the day we have, and again, like I said, like the North Node is in gate 8 right now in Human Design, which is all about making a contribution. So what's the contribution that you're here to make, and how can you align with that? Okay, and then we have later in the day we have the moon trining Chiron. So there's going to be some type of emotional release or healing as it relates to like confidence, bravery, standing in your power, like showing up, and everything I was just saying. So here's the moon in Leo, making a trine to Chiron in Aries. It'll be exact probably later in the day on Monday, early in the morning on Tuesday if you are in a different time zone. But what this is really just speaking to me is like, again, there will be like some sort of emotional release or look at like these things underneath the surface that are stopping you or blocking you from really being confident and secure and taking these actions and moving forward with the things that you want to do. Like it's with the moon in Leo, especially with this leading us up to a full moon in Leo, like it's time to show up. Like it's time to be seen. It's time to like put yourself in the spotlight, whatever that means for you. Like it is time, and like heal those wounds, heal everything that has been kind of blocking you and standing in your way. Because it's really only you that's standing in your way. And that's mostly what I see for Monday. So let's move into Tuesday now. So on Tuesday, again, Mars and Venus are just moving together. They're going to just be really close, really, really close for the next month. So this is a major theme of the next month, 30 days or so. On Tuesday, we also have the sun squaring the nodes. So let's see when it's exact. At around 2 p.m. Mountain Time, the sun will make an exact trine to both the nodes. And this is when the moon will be opposing Saturn as well. So yeah. This is like the energy of like, okay, we got to get serious, or like shit's gonna go really wrong really quickly. There might be some tension as well between like our ego, between like kind of like the needs and the wants of our immediate like gratification and personal needs of like, oh, well, like, this is challenging or this is hard because it changes the way I think about myself. It changes my identity, and like, who would I be if I didn't have these things to hold on to, right? So this is like I don't want to say identity crisis, but it kind of is. It's like, okay, are you really serious like about taking this action, about moving forward, about making these changes in your life? And if you are, like, you're going to be supported. Things are just going to miraculously line up for you. But if you're not, things are going to get really challenging. Things are going to get a lot harder. They say the infamous they say that when you're misaligned with your purpose, when you're misaligned with your destiny, that's what causes depression. Depression is really just a lack of purpose. And I experienced this myself for many, many years before I found my astrology and my human design, and I didn't know what the hell I was here for or what I was doing or how to do it. Like, I was going to go to college and pre-med, and I was going to study neuroscience and all this stuff. And I had an existential crisis, and my whole life fell apart, but really came together. And I was depressed for a really, really, really long time because I just had no guidance. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know where I was going. I just felt so lost. And that's really what, happens when we're not aligned with our purpose, when we're not aligned with our destiny, is we feel like we're just kind of floating along because we have this unique roadmap to follow of why we're here and what our purpose is. And when we're not aligned with that, things are really hard. Like, life is harder than it needs to be when we choose to neglect the discovery of our purpose. So Moon opposing Saturn, kind of already touched on that. It's like, this is gearing us up to that full moon, right? To the full moon in Leo on Wednesday morning. And this is like, it's time to get serious, guys. It's time to stay disciplined. It's time to like put your nose to the grindstone and do what you've been wanting to do. Take the course, hire the coach, like whatever you've been like wanting to do that you've been procrastinating and putting off, like it is time to do it. And I know this was a big theme of last week too, which showed up for me in my life in its own ways, which I thought was so interesting. Like, it's just funny how I do these weekly updates, right? And I don't really plan them much, or like, I just really just let whatever is going to come through and mostly channel. And then it like happens in my life the next few days. And I'm just like, whoa, like it still blows my mind. Like, it's still crazy cool that we have this ability to tap into this knowledge that is here to guide us and here to direct us in this life. Like, we don't have to feel lost. We don't have to feel hopeless. We can connect with things that are here to guide us, like astrology and like human design, and through meditation and spiritual practices like that really connect us to our soul and the information from a higher power that's always available to us when we choose to tap into it and make ourselves aware that it's there. What else do we have on Tuesday? That's really the brunt of Tuesday. And then again, like I said, we're gearing up to this full moon. So the full moon in Leo will be at around 10 a.m. Mountain Time. No, probably 9 a.m. Oh, well, it's actually going to be at 27 degrees. Yep. So the full moon, because that's what makes a full moon, is when the sun is opposite the moon. That's what gives the moon its light when it's full, right? Versus when it's new, you can't see it because they're next to each other. The sun overpowers the moon. So it's at 9:57 a.m. Mountain Time on Wednesday. And, consult where this is in your chart because it's going to be illuminating a different area of life for all of us. But really the major themes I see of this full moon is allowing ourselves to be seen, showing up for our passions, for our joy, for our creativity, and like allowing ourselves to be seen in that light. We also have Mars exactly conjunct Venus, almost like they're 1 minute apart. So this is like the peak of this energy of like taking this action, and like this is going to bring in miraculous things for you guys if you really align with this energy and like utilize this energy and like take that action, the inspired action that you have been feeling you need to take. Like miraculous things, like I'm talking like just random money coming in, random jobs coming in, random people coming into your life, just meeting like the love of your life, things of that, or just like having a really big shift within your finances, your love life, or your career, or all of the above. Like, this is just like miracles is what I'm feeling from this full moon. Okay. And just with everything else that's going on, but it's also like there's friction between our destiny. There's friction between the nodes in the sky, right? So it's like really looking at what's blocking you, what your fears are, what you're trying to control about this situation in your life, and releasing that and stepping into trust, stepping into surrender, stepping into the ability for miracles to come in, for you to align with your hope, And for you to know that when you take that action, you're always going to be supported. When you take action towards your destiny, towards your North Node, you're always going to be supported. I did a Clubhouse show on the North Node a few days ago that I'll be uploading to the podcast this week. So look out for that if you want to know more about your North Node. The North Node is everything in your chart. It is like literally everything. So when you align yourself with that, again, miracles start to occur for you. So this is like let's go, guys. Like, let's go. There's no more stalling. There's no more holding back. It's time. It's time. We're being supported. We're being guided. Also on this day, on Wednesday, Mercury enters gate 41, which is in the root. So there will be a little bit of an emotional wave for us as a collective for a little bit because of this transit. Gate 41 is the gate of contraction, which I believe I've talked about on the podcast before, because this is ruled by the degrees from 2 to 7 of Aquarius. So the sun was here at the beginning of Aquarius season. And the gate of contraction is all about like reserving your energy so that you can prepare for future expansion. So yes, take action towards what you want to do. Take action based on your heart's desires, your soul's calling, but don't overwhelm yourself. Okay. Don't like take so much action where you can't like do anything for 2 days, or where you just feel like overwhelmed. You feel like you're done because you took too much action. Like stagger it. No instant gratification is allowed. Like take the action you need, but do it in a way, like pace yourself. Do it in a way that reserves and conserves your energy, especially if you're a non-energy type. If you're a projector or a reflector, or even a manifester. Manifestors are energy types, but they still need more rest than generators and mani-gens. And if you're like, what are you talking about when I'm talking about human design? Guys, go check my YouTube channel. I have so much information about learning the basics of human design and starting to understand it for yourself if you're new to it and you're more into astrology. I have a lot of like resources on my YouTube, as well as like I showed you guys my ebook, and on the podcast too. Like if you scroll down to the first few episodes I posted on the podcast, they're all about the basics of human design, the foundational stuff of human design, and astrology as well. What else? Yeah, so Mercury's moving into this gate. So we need to like be conserving our energy at a mental level, like especially when it comes to like overthinking. Like stop that shit in its tracks. Like go meditate, or go get into nature, go outside, go take a bath, go do a workout, like something to kind of get yourself out of your mind and put your energy into something that it's better used and utilized for than just like being in a mental hamster wheel. So that's the theme I see with this Mercury transit changing on Wednesday. And then I don't think I talked about this yet, but we have a grand cross on Wednesdays. You can see here this rectangle in the sky. We have a grand cross. Let me just kind of isolate this. Let me get rid of Mercury too. So this is isolated, so you guys can see what this looks like. So we have a grand cross with this full moon as well that's impacting the nodes, which I kind of already touched on a little bit. Like this is going to be a friction, going to be a tension. It's going to be like, oh, I want to make these changes. I want to like move towards my growth, towards my purpose, but like it's uncomfortable, right? It's like not easy. It's like I have to do this thing and like put myself in this situation where it's a little bit uncomfortable. It feels like kind of like anxiety producing, or it just doesn't feel comfortable, right? To the ego, it doesn't feel comfortable to the mind. And again, it's like really just taking that action despite your feelings of uncomfortableness. Like it's like if like the example that's coming through is like if you're training to run a marathon, right? It's really hard. Like I've run 3 marathons, and it is so hard to get yourself to train for a marathon. But if you don't, you're not going to finish the marathon. You're going to get your ass kicked, and you're going to like fall to the ground at mile 20 because you hit the wall because you didn't train, right? And that's like this energy is like you've got to train. You've got to put yourself in the situations that are a little bit uncomfortable, but have these, in the short term, but have these long-term payoffs. which is your future vision, right? Of being aligned with your destiny, of really, having that life of luxury that you want, or just being of service, showing up in service and helping people in the way that you want to, and really just using your gifts to awaken humanity and heal humanity. Like that's the future vision. Like, don't forget about that when it's a little bit uncomfortable at the start. Okay, let me bring back all the planets. And then we're going to move on to Thursday. Thursday, we have Moon trining Venus and Mars. So the moon moves into Virgo after the full moon in Leo, and it will be trining. So it's going to be trining Uranus actually early in the day. So again, really like staying disciplined with these changes that we want to make. It'll be around 11 a.m. that the moon trines Uranus. So like this is a harmonious transit towards making those innovations, making those changes, like embracing your individuality and your unique genius to share that with the world in a way that's you showing up and being of service, and really making the refinements, making the practical changes that you need to make in your life to do those things and to show up in the way that you need to in order to align with your purpose and with your destiny and with that future vision that you're holding for yourself and the people you're here to serve. And maybe getting a little bit organized too, like really kind of just creating a plan, like a rough draft of what you're going to do and how that's going to lead you to your goal, even if it's doesn't happen like to a T, like exactly as you planned it out, just kind of having a rough draft and getting inspired by that too. Like this was an exercise I did the other day. I saw on TikTok, this woman she has a goal to make $30,000 a month by May. And she like planned out everything and like had all of these examples of like the ways that she could do that. And once you do that for yourself, like you have this end goal, right? And you kind of just like break it down. It looks so much more attainable. It looks so much more possible versus if you're just like, oh, I have this goal to make $30,000 a month, but I have no idea how it's going to happen or how I'm going to get there. It's less likely to happen because you haven't like proved to your subconscious visually that it can be possible through just taking like small steps over time, right? So that's kind of like the energy of Thursday is like, what was brought up for you that you want to take action towards, and how can you kind of make a plan to do that? And that's again, like this is trining. We have, let's see, at the same time that the moon is trining Uranus, it's opposing Jupiter. So I feel like it's easy to show you guys these things when, I need Uranus there, when it's isolated like this. Actually don't need the sun or the nodes right now either. So yeah, it's opposing Jupiter, right? The moon is making a trine to Uranus, while Uranus is sextiling Jupiter as well. So this is like make the changes, make the plan, take the action, because it's going to expand you. It's going to provide you with optimism, with hope, and with a renewed like passion to just do those little things every day. That's going to add up over time to that, in this example, that you making that 30 grand every month, right? Like all it takes is you breaking it down to show yourself that it's possible. And then you can take the action steps that will get you there over time, right? And release the how, even though you have like examples of how it could happen, not attaching yourself to those is key for like really creating your most aligned success and really like bringing in this desire, this hope, this dream for you, and even quicker and better than you could have imagined. And then later in the day, we have the moon starting to trine Mars and Venus already, but it's not making an exact trine until later in the day on Thursday. So that's what I'm moving all this stuff towards right now. So yeah, it'll be later, super late in the day on Thursday, that the moon makes a trine to Mars and Venus. So again, just like having that practical, tangible steps, the practical, physical ways that things could happen for you, and like showing up to take that action on the small, like short-term level of like the day-to-day. Yeah, I feel like that's the most important thing from this transit. And then that's all we have going on Thursday. I thought there was something else, but that is it. So we'll move on to Friday. Let's do 11 a.m. Let's bring back all the stuff. So on Friday, we have the sun moving into Pisces early on Friday. It'll still be in gate 30 until Saturday in Human Design. And then on Friday, we have a grand trine with the moon. So let's see. It'll be at 27 degrees. So that'll be with the North Node. Let's take away Mars and Venus, Jupiter, Saturn. Oh, the moon will also be opposing Neptune. So Friday might be a little bit like idealistic. We might, this is a good day to like dream about things, but also like have this, again, practical, tangible way that it could happen. And then we have a grand trine with Pluto, the moon, and the North Node, which I see as like just, again, kind of just this energy like reiterating itself. It's a harmonious time to take the action steps, towards creating what you want for yourself in your life. That's going to impact not only you, but humanity in a really big way. And then the moon is also sextiling the South Node. So really, let's see, I'm trying to see when this will be exact or close to exact. So yeah, midday on Friday, this grand trine will be impacting us. And then the moon is sextiling the South Node. So like releasing any of your fears, releasing control, releasing the how. Again, big theme of these 2 days, Thursday and Friday, is literally releasing the how and just allowing yourself to be open and available to receive other possibilities and ways that could happen or come in for you or be created for you. And then, like I said, on Friday too, we have Jupiter moving into gate 63. And gate 63 is in the crown in Human Design. And gate 63 is the gate of doubt, which it's no coincidence that we have Jupiter moving into the gate of doubt during this time too, because it's like all of those things that, those insecurities, those fears, it's going to come up. South Node is in Scorpio for the next year and a half. Like everything that we've hidden unconsciously or consciously from ourselves is going to come out to be looked at, to be healed, to be reframed, to be transformed, right? So with the sun moving into, Jupiter, the sun will join this soon, but not yet. Jupiter moving into gate 63, it's like, how can we use doubt to fuel us, right, towards change? Like, how can we use our doubt to create change in our lives and to remember faith, to remember like we've already put the intention out there and we're doing the things that we need to do to move us there, and it's going to happen no matter what. Like with this gate, with Jupiter being in this gate, it's like we want to have proof that this can happen, but it's like, remember your faith. You don't need to have proof as long as you like take those actions and that just in you taking those actions, it's going to do something. It's going to move you forward. It's also sending a message to the universe, right? So let doubt, let insecurity be a fuel for you during this time. This transit will last about a week or two. Okay, let's move everything back now. What else we got? Oh, that's it for Friday. And then on Saturday, we have the sun moving into gate 55, which gate 55, I believe it's in the solar plexus. Yeah, it's in the solar plexus, and gate 55 is the gate of spirit. Okay, so this gate is an awareness of like how our different moods, how our different feelings, our different emotions like motivate us to take action. Not only to like move towards our dream, right? Move towards our vision, but also like find acceptance of emotions that come up, and to like channel any feelings of melancholy or sadness, depression into creativity, like use that as a fuel, to move towards our higher vision. Like, I feel like the major themes of this week, like now that I'm like just breaking all of this down, is like not allowing yourself to get caught up in how things look or how that makes you feel, but remembering hope, remembering faith, remembering to surrender to the process. It's all about the process. Like, this is such a cliche thing, I feel, but it really is all about the process, because every single thing that's happening for you in your life right now is leading you to the next thing. And so remember that it's all happening for you, and that it's literally always leading you to where you need to go. And there's no such thing as like doing it wrong or making the wrong decision. Like, it's all a lesson that will teach you what you need to learn in order to get to where you're going. So also on Saturday, we have the moon opposing Chiron. So relationships might bring up healing for us, especially as it relates to our drive, our ability to take action towards what we want, to take that inspired action, right? Our relationships might be a reflection of whether or not we're doing that, whether or not we're distracting ourselves with the relationships in our lives, or the relationships in our lives are contributing to our ability to take inspired action and feel empowering for us. Or do they feel like a hindrance? Do they feel like a distraction? So that's kind of the theme of Saturday with this transit. And then we have the moon trining Mercury as well before that happens. So again, kind of just being reflected to us, like how our relationships are playing into our mental stories, our mental thought loops, our mental patterns, and then in turn creating our perception through the relationships we have in our lives. And how can we use this reflection to come into a greater sense of harmony and balance between what we want to do, our independence, and our relationship with the people around us. And then on Sunday, I feel like this was a really fast episode. This was fun. I like doing it this way. Hope you guys liked it too. Sunday, we have the moon squaring Venus and Mars earlier in the day, and then the moon trining Saturn. So this to me feels like, again, like last Sunday was a day of rest. This also feels like kind of another day of rest to me. Yeah, like it feels like this will be impacting our relationships on a deeper level. Maybe a lot of relationships will be ending because we're just realizing that they're not empowering us to move forward to pursue our goals, our dreams, our visions. Or, this could also be, if you're on the flip side of that, because again, this is going to depend on how this is affecting your chart. This could be like you realizing that the relationships you have in your life are really empowering, and you want to make more time for those that do empower you versus the ones that don't. But really, I just feel like Sunday, it looks like there's a lot going on, but it's really just that major thing, with the moon being in Libra impacting Saturn and Venus and Mars. Because it's going to kind of feel like there's like this emotional thing that happens probably that's kind of feels like it wants to pull us off track from taking the action that we have been taking, that we want to continue taking towards our goal or our vision. But we're a little bit deterred or distracted from some type of like relationship in our life or partnership. And then with the trine of Saturn, it's like, all right, we got to get serious about like making the change here and staying disciplined towards what we want, and not letting people deter us or influence us from taking that action. So yeah, it's making an exact square early in the morning on Sunday. And then it's trining Saturn close to the same time. Yeah, so that's the major themes I see. Let's see, yep, for Sunday and really for the week of the 14th. So yeah, it feels like a really exciting week, although there might be a little bit of minor setbacks, just kind of bigger reflections on things. And then what do we have to look forward to next week? Guys, Mercury finally leaves post shadow on the 23rd, which I believe is Wednesday. So it's just gonna feel like we're just really gonna feel like what's that phrase where it's like the horse out of the, I don't remember, but we're just really gonna feel like this forward momentum again, and the minor setbacks of this week are just gonna help us to have that momentum to move forward even better and quicker than we could have before. So yeah, that's what I see for the week of the 14th. Thank you guys for being here with me and for participating in this new form of podcastry. It was really fun. So I'm really excited to do more of these this way. We'll see how that goes. And yeah, if you're not already, subscribe to the YouTube, subscribe to the podcast if you're not following it or subscribed. I'll be uploading another episode this week talking all about the nodes, the North and the South node, and going over each zodiac sign briefly. I'm doing a lot on Clubhouse too. So if you're on the Clubhouse app, come join me in my rooms. I do live readings in there as well. And what else do I have going on? I'm currently working on reframing and restructuring my membership site. So I was doing one on Patreon, but I just felt called to shift that and have it be more cohesively on a platform that I like actually already use. So that's in the works. So stay tuned for that. I'm also going to be hosting more classes like over Zoom, group classes to help you guys understand astrology and understand how to interpret your birth chart, break everything down, and then put it all together to read the chart holistically, as well as blending that into human design. So be on the lookout for those classes because I'm going to be doing that, if not this month, next month. And yeah, so make sure you're subscribed to my email list to get updates and be notified of that. Follow me on TikTok, follow me on Instagram, although I'm not doing too much on Instagram these days. And that's pretty much it. Thank you all so much. I love you. I hope you have an amazing week. Let me know how this resonated with you, and I'll see you again next week. Much love.